Notice I'm going to do a couple things here. We're going to be pretending that you're the choir and I'm directing the rehearsal right now. And I'm just going to do a couple of techniques you might find useful for a fast-paced rehearsal to get those rhythms going. Sometimes people don't know how to read music at the rehearsal. So one of the things we do, especially with those that can't read music, is just a lot of repeat, call and response, get the kind of rhythm going. So let me give you a couple of examples how you might do that with this song. So we had just looked at God wants us to live. Can we just clap that rhythm once? Ready, and. Oh, great. Can we all sing it together now? Ready, and. God wants us to live. Good. Can we do the whole measure 6 all the way through to the last part? What does the church actually say about music, and why, according to the church, do we sing during Mass? One of the things I kept hearing over and over was our congregations aren't singing. And we want to figure out ways to get them to really not only be motivated, but hopefully to understand, we're not just here to be as passive people sitting in the church, but we're here to really actively participate as the church calls us to do. So what exactly is that call? What does the church actually say? Entonces la pregunta es, ¿qué dice la iglesia sobre la música? We're going to be looking at a couple of documents, just in brief. First one is called the Sacrosanctum Concilium, or the Constitution on the Sacred Liturgy, La Constitución de la Liturgia Sagrada. And they have this really cool quote in there. It says, the musical tradition of the universal church. Notice it's not just our church, it's not their church, it's our universal global church. Un iglesia para el mundo. The musical tradition of the universal church is a treasure, it's un tesoro, que vale más que cualquier cosa. The main reason for this preeminence is that a sacred song united to the words, it forms a necessary or integral part of the psalm liturgy. So it's not just a song, it's something that brings out the text of the church that we read about, and it's something that helps us draw together the meaning and bring it forward in the united communal way. Entonces, cuando nosotros cantamos, estamos también proclamando la palabra. Y esta palabra está unido con la canción nosotros somos unidos como una congregación participando juntos. What does the light of prayer actually mean? Now, how are we bringing about greater joy into our liturgies? How are we bringing about people that feel inspired by the liturgy, that want to come back and say, that Mass was great. I really look forward to coming back. As opposed to, well, it happens, and So we're going to be looking at a couple of examples of songs that I think at least talk about the idea of expressing our joy and our delights to people. And we're going to start by singing, To You, O God, I Lift Up My Soul. So I just wanted to talk about a couple ways that we can actually engage our congregations, and which I found to have worked before. Every congregation is different. We may or may not want to use these with particular congregations, but I found that these have been sort of effective. Well, one of the things that I've been doing at St. Clair's is to talk about, explain to the congregation why we sing. Okay, explica por qué cantamos. Now, I felt very uncomfortable walking up to the congregation, getting up to the ambo, and saying, I'm new here. And what you could always use, be like, I'm new. Or, we're trying a new idea. And so the idea that something is new can mean that we're all in this together. This is an adventure for all of us, and we're all learning together. Eso es una idea nueva. Entonces, estamos aprendiendo juntos y nosotros somos una familia. Entonces, está bien si no funciona, pero yo quiero que ustedes participen conmigo, por favor, porque somos una familia nueva. And as our culture started improving a little bit, people were starting to sing a little bit more, the pastor would thank the musicians and they all clap or whatever. But I would make a point of going over to the microphone and say, we really appreciate that you are enjoying the music, but we want to remind you, this is not the choir song, it's our song. This is our prayer. And this is our united prayer together. And in fact, when we all sing together, we're helping to realize the dream of really unifying us as a community. And our number one priority as a choir is to invite you to sing. We're never to overpower you. We're never to be on a performance or in a show. Our number one priority, número uno, es invitarles a participar, porque nosotros somos la canción. We are the song. So you might want to just think, if people aren't participating, maybe just go up and just give a little 30-second pep talk about, this is why we sing, and this is what we do. We can talk about the music being number one priority of the community, but how do we actually show that? Okay, there are a couple things that we can do. So when we invite people to sing, we have our hands raised. Have you ever been in a place before where someone's trying to play or something, and then there's no idea about when we're supposed to start, and this kind of stumble and go forward? So one of the things that we can do is if we're communicating with someone on singing, then we can really have an active hand raising that happens. So I just want to go through and make sure that we're all able to do this well. So can we turn over in our books to O Love of God? This is number 301. And we're just going to practice pretend that we are all the cantors. So why don't we go ahead and stand. And at the signal, we're going to raise up our hands and make sure that we have a really clear entrance for the congregation. So why don't we all try it with the two hands. So put your books down for a second and let's just raise our hands up. And you give a little cue for going up. It's like, we're ready, bang, we're singing, okay? Because otherwise, if we just go as a conductor, if we have our beat, we're going over here and people watch where our click is on our hands. So if we go all the way up and just go, oh, love of God, no. But if we go, oh, love of God. Okay, so good morning, everyone. It's great to see you this morning. Thank you for attending our Mass today. And we have a loud good morning. He's really getting into the role. So I just wanted to, we have a new psalm refrain today, and we just, you've been singing so well the last couple of weeks. I really want to teach you this new refrain so that we're able to really actively sing it when our cantor is up at the ambo and invites you. So the text of this psalm is, we are God's people, the sheep of his flock. Can we just say that text once together?
We are God's people, the sheep of his flock.
Notice how I started with text? It's a lot less intimidating for people, because if they're like, well, we don't sing, well, they'll speak. Now, there's some people who don't say anything during the Mass, and that's a whole other issue. But it's immediately able to be like, okay, well, we can all say the text, so now it's just a little baby step to be able to sing it. Okay, so then step number 2. Okay, so now here's what the melody sounds like. We're not going to even worry about putting the words together yet. We're just going to hear what it sounds like once and learn the notes by themselves. So it sounds like this. Do, 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 do. Can you just repeat that once? Ready, and do, 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 do. Good, and I know it's really early in the morning, 7:45 in the morning, but we can be a little more energetic about it. We can kind of, we're supposed to be excited about it. So you can move in your seats a little bit, kind of get, maybe move back your shoulders a little bit, just slightly. I've actually done this before, so believe it or not. And, we just want to get ourselves going. So it sounds like this. Do, 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 ready, and do, 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 do. You just learned 85% of the song. Excellent. Now notice I'm giving little benchmarks to show, we really don't have that much to learn. And it's constant success and giving people motivating kind of tips to be like, you're doing a great job, and we're almost done. And so it's not that much of a stretch. And then the next part is, we just learned do, 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 do. The second part is do, 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 do. Listen to it one more time. Do, do, do.